Now let's bring in our correspondent, Michal Bardavid, is Istanbul. Michal, how's the search and rescue efforts getting on?
Right now, the search and rescue, of course, is continuing, and it seems like it's going to continue for days because this is a very serious situation right now. We're seeing everyone has been mobilized. The Turkish president made a statement. He stated that all the rescue teams from Turkey have been dispatched to all the affected areas. The Interior Minister has stated that the alert level has been increased to level 4, which means that there is an international call for assistance, which shows how serious the situation is right now, that they're going to need help from everyone that they can get, not only from Turkey, but from abroad as well. The 3 ministers in Turkey have been dispatched to 3 different cities, to Malatya, Kahramanmaras, and Osmaniye. So that means that these are the main areas that have been affected so far. So I think we're going to see that rescue efforts are going to continue for quite a bit of time from now on.
Now, neighboring Syria has also felt the impact. How big is this impact of this earthquake?
Well, it seems it's quite devastating at this point. We've had a lot of reports from different governors from different areas in the region. First of all, the epicenter is in Pazarcik in Kahramanmaras city, but it's been affected in many areas in surrounding cities as well, in Diyarbakir, in Hatay, in Adana, but it's also felt in Syria, neighboring country, and Lebanon as well. There have been reports of multiple casualties there as well. We know, for example, in Malatya, 140 buildings have collapsed completely. In Osmaniye city, 34 buildings have collapsed completely. Dozens of people have been reportedly killed there, but I think we're going to hear a lot more casualties in the upcoming hours already, unfortunately, because this happened during the night, and a lot of damage in these buildings. We have a statement from Turkey's defense ministry as well, that their troops and their bases have been affected in Malatya, Kahramanmaras, and Osmaniye as well, and they're doing damage assessment in these areas. There's been a statement by the Yeşilyurt mayor, which is in the district of Malatya. He stated that a hotel and a hospital have completely collapsed as well in these areas. So we believe that there's going to be a lot of damage and a lot more casualties from the impact of this devastating earthquake.
And you know, aftershocks, how's the local government responding to that?
Well, they're trying to keep people updated. They're warning people to stay outside right now because of the aftershocks. We know that so far there have been at least 22 aftershocks. However, also what's major is that Turkey's disaster and emergency agency, AFAD, has also announced that at 4:26 a.m., which is just 9 minutes after the first initial earthquake, there were 2 other earthquakes that took place with a magnitude of 6.4 and 6.5 in Gaziantep. So there is a lot of damage in these areas, but we're seeing, of course, that's still very risky in these areas as well. That's why rescue efforts are continuing, but also local governments are saying that people should be very careful. If there is any damage in their buildings, they should stay outside, not go into these buildings, because there is a risk of other aftershocks that could also result in the collapse of other buildings as well.
Michal, I know the story is still developing. Were you able to speak to anyone at the scene?
Not so far. We're trying to reach people, but people, the local government and the Interior Minister and the President himself actually warned people to stay off their cell phones so people can actually try to reach their loved ones, and also for rescue efforts that the lines stay open. They've increased the capacity of cell phones in those areas, but right now we haven't personally talked to anyone there. We're trying to keep our cell phones off at that point for people who are actually trying to reach each other, but we're going to try to talk to people soon and see what the situation is like on the ground.
All right, Michal, thank you for following that story for us.